Welcome back, everybody. Salam, shalom, namaste, sat sri akal, aloha, hola, ciao, bonjour, buna, and privet. Oh, I hope I said that right. Okay. Anyway, we won't get distracted. I'm just really, really excited and happy right now because we have Tina Lopez coming back for a second episode with us. Tina is the CEO of Tina Lopez Coaching. And last time we had a really, really amazing conversation about the idea of how to create evergreen content and use, the idea of automations and creating systems to make a business and our marketing more fun and easy. And today we are going to go even deeper into that topic and talk about, how to take everything we talked about last time further and make it even more systemized and more automated and so forth. So I'm so excited to have you back, Tina. Welcome.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for letting me come back to the show. I'm excited.
Yay, woohoo. So Tina, just again for those people who missed the last episode, can you just give a quick review to us of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm an online coach. I really help individuals within the online coaching space or generally like if you're an online service provider. I think a lot of the techniques and tools and resources I give you can really be applied to pretty much the online community in terms of entrepreneurship. So in a rough nutshell, like what I do is I help online entrepreneurs create systems for passive income through automation, delegation, and evergreen content. So if you're that person who's like, I need to systematize the crap out of my business so I get more of my time back, then I'm here to help you out. Like my door's always open. Let me know.
Yay, woohoo, I love it. And so last time, as I mentioned earlier, we started to talk about this idea of evergreen content and using it to create the automations and systems that we need to get our time back and have a wonderful, wonderful business that is also lifestyle friendly for us and so forth. And I believe uh, this time we want to talk about the idea of funnels. Can you
Mhm.
tell me more about what funnels are, why they're helpful?
Yeah. So let's kind of go into the basic concepts of a funnel. I want you to like sit back, relax, or if you're driving, make sure you're paying attention to driving. Whatever you're at, just think of a triangle, right? Think of a triangle, but an upside down triangle, right? And so a funnel looks pretty much like that upside down triangle. And so what a point of a funnel is doing is it's meant to really filter individuals
Mm,
in our purposes, buyers who want to buy and buyers who don't, and that's okay. But basically, you kind of have like these different stages of a funnel of awareness, of warming them up through content, of, creating an email opt-in option freebie or whatever. And then you get the emails and then you can sell a product and then you can do something what I like to do called a forever funnel where you send them an email once a week for pretty much almost a year and you set it and forget it and you automate that. So
mm,
at least they're always getting value from you every week. And you could be like sleeping and the emails are set for you and they're getting value. You carry on your merry way. I love to carry on my merry way and I want you guys to do more of that. But the reason why it's so important, in my opinion, is because it gives you your time back, which I know we talked a lot about in the last episode, but it also allows you to, really determine like the individuals who I guess want to buy and then those that don't, and that's okay.
mm.
But it also gives you opportunity for your audience to really get to know you better through the process.
Very, very cool. Okay, so um, just tell me more. Is there like a big problem that you see people struggling with when they try to create funnels?
So it's not the problem with creating funnels. Creating
Mm,
funnels is actually super easy. A lot of people, a lot of gurus and experts like to really complicate it, but it's really not that complicated. So let me demystify it for you.
yes.
So the problem that I actually see a lot with individuals and entrepreneurs is that they're on this constant creation cycle where it's like, oh my God, I have to post on Instagram. Oh my God, I have to post on Facebook. Oh my God, I have to create another damn article. Oh my God, I have to do this YouTube video. And it's just like, oh my God, when is this going to stop? Right. And the thing is creating what I call a forever funnel, and I didn't coin the term. It's just a term that I'm going to use for this, is essentially it allows you to repurpose your content and you only have to post it once, but it's always getting traffic. And
Mm,
so what I mean by this is instead of you always creating content over and over again, why don't you just repurpose that and put it in a funnel? And so let's kind of get into the mechanics of what I'm talking about, right? So I'm not going to go into the depth a little bit on different content types. We talked a lot about that in the previous episode,
mm,
but let's kind of talk about the bare bones of a mechanic of what I call a forever funnel, or what people call it. So you know how like you land on certain pages and they're like, oh, like, sign up for my email list and you get a freebie or you get XYZ, some type of way to opting in, meaning
yes.
you're deciding to volunteer in. Yeah, exactly, right? That is the beginning stage of the funnel, right?
Uh, Hey, thanks for tuning into this episode. Hope you're getting value out of it. For your information, this episode has been sponsored by the Happiness 101 program. Are you a change maker, coach, trainer, or healer? Are chains of fear holding you back from making the impact and income you desire? Using a unique combination of positive psychology and the spiritual wisdom of our most effective change makers, the Happiness 101 program helps you break through your limiting beliefs and manifest the abundance and success you desire with fun and ease. Interested? Book a free Happiness 101 exploration call with me, your happiness expert, Samia Bano. Just use my online calendar link in the show notes. Now, back to the show. Huh.
And so the page itself, the landing page, whatever it is you're deciding to give as a freebie, I'm going to go somewhere that a lot of people think, they may not agree with me on this, but I say give away the juiciest
Mm,
detail, resource, tool, whatever the hell you have, like for free. And I know you're gonna be like, well, shit, like that's a lot. That's a lot to put in. Well, here's some measurements that I recommend that you do. So as you're creating this juiciest freebie, if you will, you want to make sure it's something along the lines of it makes sense for your background and what you're teaching, right? So
uh-huh.
for example, for me, I may just give you the entire automation system. Don't quote me on this. I haven't done that yet. But like, I know some people are asking me about automation. Might as well just give you the automation thing, right? And it's aligned with who I am because I love talking about automation systems. It makes sense, right? So you want the freebie to be something that makes sense to who you are
Mhm.
and is relevant to what you want to be known for, right?
Right.
So it's the juiciest thing and you want to make it relevant. But you also want to make it in such a way where it's solving a problem, right? Because what are
Mm,
we as coaches and consultants and all those things? And just in business in general, businesses solve problems. So the better question to ask yourself is what problem do I want to be known for that I solved?
yes.
Take that option and take that freebie and give it away for free as your option, as your opt-in. What are you getting in exchange for that? You're getting an email. And if you don't have an email platform, I really like MailerLite. It's a really great platform. It's completely free. I use it in my own business. And if you want more of the mechanics on, what that looks like, definitely check out my blog on Medium and things like that. So you can check it out. There's a specific article called Creating a Forever Funnel that's going to go more in depth on how to do that. So highly recommend that. Then the next thing you're going to do is say a person, they opt in. There's an option when people press, oh, subscribe me, you can redirect that button to a different page, right? And if you're a coach, course creator, consultant, or you have a community or you want to create a community, have that redirect link be point to a sales page if you have one for a
Mm.
course, so you can get a few sales off of that for the individuals who are buyers. I know I've done that and I've gotten a few sales, and it's super easy. You're just maximizing your marketing and redirecting traffic, right? So that's what it looks like on the front. That's what the client sees. On the back end, what's going to happen is once when they opt in, they're going to get an automated email through the platform that you're using. Let's just say we're using MailerLite. And what's going to happen there is you're going to send an email. I always like to have an introduction email of like, hey, thank you so much for subscribing. Here's what you can expect from these emails. If you don't like that, I actually say in my emails, if you do not want this, please unsubscribe.
Yeah.
And the reason why I do this, so many people are so conservative, like, oh, I don't want people to unsubscribe. You do want the individuals to self-unsubscribe. Here's why. Because usually with these platforms for MailerLite or just any other things, when you reach a certain audience point, you're paying for their subscription. You're paying for them to get your emails. And if they don't want your emails, if they're not reading it, you know, carry on your merry way. I wish you all the best. See you later, right? And things like that. So that's what that's the first thing that I do. I say, hey, this is what you can expect from me. And you don't like it, that's fine. The next thing that you do is, along the lines with the freebie of a problem. They're coming to you with that problem. So in that email as well, you want to, obviously give that exchange, answer that problem, give whatever the freebie is, whatever, right? Now we're going to talk a little bit about if you're an individual who's a little bit more advanced, which is like, Tina, I know how to do this. Well, here's the next steps on what you do. If you have a course or if you have something that you can sell, these
Mhm.
next two emails, I always say like 2 to 3 emails. You can space them out with like 2 to 3 days or things like that to send. Again, have it automated to do that for you through these platforms. What you're going to do is you want doing training emails. You want the emails to be training emails where it's giving them value and it's further amplifying, the problem that they're having in the sense of what they're exactly struggling with. And
Uh-huh.
definitely recommend to do market research. I have an article on how to conduct market research for your dream clients on my blog. Check that out. And so you have that email set in place. You send an email and then you can have like a little call to action on the bottom that says, hey, watch out for next email because the next email we're going to talk about this and address this other part of the problem that's bigger to the central problem that you're having, right? So what that means is it gives the audience member excitement. They're like, ooh, I'm going to get another email talking about this. Like, this is great. And so they have something to look forward to. That's what you want. You want your audience to be like, hell yeah, send me this stuff, right? That's the type of audience subscriber that I want in my email list, right? Point to the next email about an email. Great. Next thing, that call to action on the bottom might be, hey, here's a course, or here's this, or let's book a discovery call because I know you're having this problem. Let's further discuss it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever your call to action is, that can be the PS to send it. And then when you have your next 2 to 3 emails, you can use those emails as promo emails saying, hey, this is the course. This is how it's going to help you. Da, 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 da. These are the testimonials. Da, 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 da. Whatever. Things like that. And so what this does for you is it allows you to get those buyers who want to buy, what, like those people who are like me who like buy like one-click purchase. I'm that person who does one-click purchase, like who can do it, right?
Mm.
And it allows you to make money in the beginning part of the funnel.
Mm.
Now, to cater to the individuals who are just like, I'm gonna hold back. Like, I barely know you. I just got this email. Like, you know me, you're asking for me. That's too soon. That's too quick. I get you, right? The next thing that you do is you're gonna add the forever to that funnel. And
Mm.
so the forever part is essentially, taking all that content. In the previous episode, we talked about content,
Mm.
taking maybe your YouTube videos, taking your Medium article, taking your blogs, whatever it is, you have that be the trainings in
Mm,
your forever funnel. And
nice.
you all you do is create an email template that says, hey, I thought that this might be helpful for you. You should probably check it out, right? And then you can link it again in the PS of like, hey, next week we're going to be talking about this. Hey, next week we're going to be talking about that. And what you're doing is you're putting your YouTube videos, you're putting your Medium blogs, and you're making money off of that content, right? Because YouTube, you get paid through the AdSense. Um, what was it? Through Medium, you get paid through the subscription or the reads for people who read it. So you're still getting paid on those articles. You're still getting paid on those content types, but you're also promoting on the bottom. Like if you have that course as a PS, hey, if you want to check out more, check out this course.
Yeah.
So at the very least, every week, you are giving them value through the forms of the content you've already created, but you're also getting, time for money for your time and things that you created that system through the content itself and also the promo that you're maybe doing in the PS section. And you just link it, and I would say like do it, like have it set up for a year in terms of so you may need 52 emails. And I know that sounds like a lot, but I promise you that it will save you so much time. Because here's the thing, once when someone subscribes, you at least know that they're gonna have like content for an entire year, and you can take a whole vacation for like an entire year and they'll still get content, and you'll be like, I'll continue on my merry way. And so that is essentially like how you link all this together and how you can create a simple forever funnel that makes you money at every email, but also allows you to get your time back, which 100,000% I'm all about. That
I
was
love
a lot.
it. Yeah, it was a lot, but it was awesomely helpful. And I really appreciate your throwing in all the specific resources that you mentioned because yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many different email providers. Who do I go with? So it's awesome to have some recommendations and specific services from an expert like you. Woohoo.
Thank you.
And yeah, when you uh, were like, oh, one email a week, it's like for those people who are like thinking maybe that's a lot, you don't
Mhm.
have to do it all at one time. So, you start with what you have and then you can build over time. I remember when I first started my first podcast show. My other podcast is called The Survivor to Thriver Show. Before I knew it, I had like 230 something episodes on it.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, wow, I have all this amazing rich content. It's like perfect. Don't recreate new content. Let's just begin to put that in the funnel. Or if you have done
Mhm.
lots of lives before on Facebook, thankfully, Facebook will save those videos. Maybe you
Mhm.
can look through some of that kind of content or posts that you have made in the past and, just gather things up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this Forever Fund is really meant to cater to individuals who, doesn't matter which stage you're in. If you're in that very beginning stage and you're just building content, you don't even have 52 emails, it's totally fine. I would just say templatize your emails, meaning in the sense of, you're always going to have like, hey, this is a new email. And then you can have the link and then you have your call to action. You could just create that template and
Yeah.
then you can duplicate it, right? And then just edit it as necessary. But it's catering to the individuals who are in the beginning who haven't had any content, wants to make sure it's always relevant. And it's catering to individuals who's like, Tina, I've been here for a very long time and I just need people to look at it again. You just send them those links and you just send them your way.
I love it. And so in terms of creating that list, you definitely recommend email as the way to go, as opposed to,
Mhm.
let's say, putting in effort to build up a Facebook group or something like that.
So here's the thing. I've done both. I've done Facebook group and I've done email. And here's my consensus. Having a Facebook group is great. If you want to build community, it's also really great to get emails, right? Because people in Facebook groups, in the questions to get into the group, they may ask for your email. That's totally fine. Um, but is it something that I would focus on if I'm in the very beginning stages, or even in like now, like I don't even want to do it, right? But the thing is like it takes a lot of time to build a community.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of hours. You have to make sure you're always being constant in terms of the content in the algorithm because it may get buried. And then you have to show up on social media.
Yeah.
Like I have done the social media like game and all these things. And you know what? At the end of the day, what has brought me the most joy is just not being like on constantly, of like doing an Instagram story, doing a Facebook Live, doing whatever the next, the latest and greatest thing is, because I just love like this might sound weird, but like I love being behind the screen, in my PJs and creating content and knowing that it's still helping people, it's still getting the same
Mhm.
impact, but nobody's gonna see, that pimple on my forehead and I can just go along my very day. I'm very much so low key, laid back, and I just want to chill. Like I think you have that right to do it, and why
Yeah.
not just give yourself that permission?
That's a good point because even if you're posting, like if you have, let's say, a Facebook group that you're building out, even if you're posting evergreen content links in the Facebook group, you still have to have a certain amount of live presence in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't work. Excellent, excellent
Mhm.
point. Cool. Okay, so um, are there any like other challenges that you notice? Like if someone's like, okay, Tina, I love this idea. I want to get on board, create this kind of
Mhm.
funnel myself. What kind of a challenge might they run into in the implementation process? Just
Mhm.
as a heads up so that if they run into it, they're not surprised or discouraged from pursuing the strategy further.
Yeah, so first things first that I'm going to recommend is definitely check out my blog in terms of I have an article specifically called Creating a Forever Funnel for Year-Round Sales, something to that variation. Check that out as a resource. It's really beneficial and it's really helpful. I also believe, I have to double check, but you'll probably see it. I have an automation that you can plug and play in that article, which is going to save you tons of time. So you're welcome. And so that's one thing that I'm going to recommend. And another thing that I would say is I do have like a Forever Funnel interest form. And what that form is if you're like, Tina, like I'm interested and I am open to like investing in a course. If I decide to create one, I'm not going to create a course if no one's interested in it. Please fill that out so that gives me information and insights. That's just one of the things that I want you to know in terms of the resources that I have. Some of the problems that you're going to face, honestly, might be tech. And that's why,
Mhm.
I'm considering creating a course because tech can be a beast. And if you're not a person who likes me who geeks out over tech, I understand. And so what you're going to probably, the problems that you're going to run into is just figuring it out how
Mhm.
it works. Like figuring out like, well, shit, Tina, like, how does this even look like, right? And that's why in the article that I have, like, it gives you like a visual on like how this all kind of comes into play. But
Mm,
also, you know, there's a couple of things. If you choose to do it by yourself, that's fine. You're probably going to have a longer wait time in terms of implementation unless you're really good at tech. The reason why is because you're learning something new.
yeah,
Give yourself grace for learning a software and a platform new. It took me a lot of time. That's why I created the article so it takes you less time. But also invest like look in customer, like I'm always customer support. I'm like, if I have a question, I need to do it. But also if you're that person who's also like me, who sometimes just does not seeking joy in talking to customer service and dealing with that and having a long wait time because time is money, truly in my opinion, post a job on Upwork, Fiverr to have someone figure out for you.
yeah,
Because here's the thing that a lot of people get mistaken. They look at investing in resources like teams, tools, softwares as like a cost. It's not a cost. Let's clear this up. It is something that helps you, improves efficiency, makes you more productive to actually focus on what you want to do.
Yeah.
And if you're not, that's not your sort of genius, hire someone, please. Like, I remember, I think for a while I was trying to create or code something, and this project took me 2 months. And I had to ask myself, I'm like, do I really want to learn how to do this? After 2 months of going back and forth, I'm like, shit, I wasted 2 months of my life figuring this out when I could be doing something else. And I posted a job on Upwork. This person got it done in 2 weeks. Wow, talk about return on time is really critical.
Indeed.
So just
Mm.
hire help, like outsource it. Like it's not a big deal. Or, like I mentioned in the previous episode, like do trades. If someone needs help in this and that's your expert in zone genius and they're good at what you need help with, do a trade. It works just as well.
Yeah. And you're making me think about actually just last year I was not thinking, I actually was doing. I was
Yeah.
launching a new project for an online community that I'm creating. And basically, I was like, okay, I want this to be as automated as possible and just from the start, set it up in a way that's going to be really optimized for, you know, uh, having it be fun and easy and all of that good stuff. And actually what ended up happening was that I ended up having to go through like maybe three different platforms before I
Hmm.
found the right one for me. Because and the thing that the first two platforms that I tried out, it wasn't that there was anything like the third platform, the thing that was really different about them was that they provided such amazing customer service. The other two platforms had similar technology, but when I had a question and I reached out for support, um, it was like, okay, I was restricted to either chat support or email support, and they would take time to get back to me. And because, I just had all kinds of struggle. But with the third platform, even though I invested at the beginning level, or the lowest level that you could invest with at that platform, they still provided such excellent customer service. Whenever I had a problem, there was someone who would actually get on the phone with me, sometimes jump on a Zoom call with me and just walk me through whatever it was that I needed solving. And because of that, even though there were issues that came up, but because I felt like I had so much good support and guidance and someone, like literally walking me through things in that very live context, I was able to get through it. And so like for me, again, that just sort of underscored, number one, yes, even the best platforms that are being used to produce awesome results for other people, even those have their challenges that you might run into when you're trying to figure it out and use it. But secondly, the importance of making sure you have good help and the right help. And so like you were saying, Tina, if you are not able to figure it out yourself, like in my case, I was like, I'm just abandoning the platform. But the good alternative you suggested was, hey, maybe you can hire someone
Hmm.
um, who is an expert in working with that platform.
Absolutely. My
Yeah.
goodness. Because here's the thing, and this is not to say that the managing platform idea doesn't work. I've definitely done a lot of free trials for software to figure out, oh God, this doesn't work. Um, but here's the thing, like it takes a lot of time and energy to learn a platform and to move over and just
Mm.
constantly do it. At that point, your time is money, right? So you might as well just the time it's gonna take you to move to another platform, you could have just used that money to like hire someone to do it.
Yeah, it just comes down to you do the best you can at the time that you have, and now I know better.
Yes, and that's all
So
I can
that's
do.
awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Tina. So we are almost out of time for today. Do you have any last words that you want to share with us?
Yeah, so I really want to just say thank you and I appreciate your time, definitely for having me on the podcast. But I also really want to thank all the listeners' time for just listening to me, listening to my advice. This is truly advice, and if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, I totally understand. You don't have to listen to me. That's totally fine. Um, do what works best for you is what I'm trying to say, right? And
Mhm.
so if you're an individual who's like, I really loved what Tina was talking about and I want to know more about her, definitely feel free to check me out on my platform, which is Medium. I blog about it all the time. I blog about things. If you have questions, definitely like comment on some of my articles. I have taken some questions and turned them into articles and I'll tag you in it and be like, hey, you gave me this idea. There you go. Things like that because it helps me and I'm here to help you. So definitely check that out. I also have like a forever funnel interest form. So if you're like, I want to learn more about funnels, definitely like tag and look inside the show notes and sign up. And it's just the interest, just to gauge your interest, collect some data, things like that. And I also have an online entrepreneurs club. So if you're that person who's just like, Tina, I'm on this road and it feels kind of lonely and I need some help, then don't worry, I got you. So basically what that looks like is when you sign up for the Online Entrepreneurs Club, it's completely free. You go ahead and submit your bio to our database of our network of online entrepreneurs and you are getting my emails and you're like, Tina, I need someone in marketing. All you have to do is submit a reply or submit a connection request. I'll look through my database and I'll be like, hey, this person can help you. And it's kind of like the LinkedIn version for online entrepreneurs exclusively, right? And so you'll also get access to exclusive trainings, videos, resources, tools, things like that. So it's really like we are a growing community. We have over 500 individuals in there. So it is rapidly growing and we're really excited just to see all the resources we can send your way. And yeah, I mean, like, I just would love to stay connected with you and just see how I can further help you in your journey. But either way, I hope you're having a lovely day and hope to see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you again so much, Tina. It was really, really awesome to have you. And yeah, for sure, people, please check the show notes on this show, on this episode, because we are going to be adding all of those links to all of those wonderful resources that Tina mentioned in the show notes. So check them out. And until we connect next time, I wish you lots and lots of peace and joy.